Happy Monday. Hey guys, a little off cycle this week, but we're really excited to have Lisa Gorski on our Facebook Live just to talk about her upcoming webinar this Thursday. So thank you guys for tuning in. I know Friday I said, hey, Monday we're going to be back on. So hopefully get that notification and that you're on here with us on Facebook. If not, watch the recording, and we are excited to share some information. So Lisa, welcome to Ava's Facebook event.
Thanks, Blake. Nice to see you, and thanks for inviting me to do this webinar. I'm very excited to present this Thursday.
So we're really excited about it too. This is a topic that we really haven't covered on our webinar series. This is about implanted vascular access devices. I know clinically when I practice, get tons of questions about ports or implanted vascular access devices in my practice and throughout my career. So really excited to learn a little bit more about this, much more detail, I think, and hopefully have our audience get a little bit more insight into current practice standards and how to improve outcomes for our patients. So Lisa, tell our audience a little bit about yourself. Give us a little background.
Sure. Okay, well, I've been a nurse for many years. I began my practice in a hospital in a surgical unit, moving on to the surgical and cardiovascular ICU. And I was finishing graduate school at that time, and I decided to make a little bit of a change. I was focusing on kind of chronic illness and cardiac care in particular, and decided to try out home care while I still worked in the CVICU every other weekend, and fell in love with home health and home infusion in particular. That was at the time of the AIDS epidemic, and we started doing just a lot of more complex infusions than sometimes I even see today at that time. Introduced to implanted ports at that time, and have just kind of taken it from there. Became very involved in the organization, the home care organization, in terms of being given a position to develop our home infusion program in concert with our home infusion pharmacy. And at that time, I pretty much saw patients about half of the time and spent the other half of my time really developing the program, policies, procedures, and ended up writing a book and kind of taking it from there. So I've been actually working for the same home care organization since that time. I've been through many changes in names and administrations, but same organization as a clinical nurse specialist, and continue to do so on more of a part-time basis at this point, but do all of the education for our nurses for the onboarding for home infusion therapy. I do a lot of competencies. In fact, spent this last summer competency assessments for for our nurses in the state of Wisconsin, specific to implanted port access. We did have an occurrence this summer that led us to just really look a little bit more closely. No bad outcome for the patient, but it really enlightened us. We need to do a better job with some of our procedural competency assessments. So when I was asked to do this presentation on implanted ports, I was very happy to say yes, and thanks to Ava for asking me.
Yeah, sounds like perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
I think what it's a great opportunity to kind of like when you're working in clinical practice and you're deep diving into a subject, especially like you know it well. You've certainly practiced in it for a long time, and then kind of like really investing some time improving current practices where you're at, and then being able to present that is fantastic. I think that this is a great opportunity for our membership and anybody who's interested in joining to learn a little bit more. So give us a little teaser about what people should expect to see this Thursday.
Okay. Kind of in a nutshell, definitely be talking about implanted ports and the variety of types of ports. There are some newer ports out there and some types of ports that, exist that we may not be that familiar with. And really emphasizing the importance of knowing what kind of port your patient has, the importance of really referencing back to the procedural information. And I'll give some good examples of why that is really important. And if you don't know, it can lead to unexpected outcomes. Talk especially about the procedure for accessing and deaccessing with particular attention to the importance of aseptic technique during insertion, the importance of ascertaining a blood return, very critical in terms of outcome as well. Care and management, if that port is to remain accessed in particular, and then complications. Some of the complications that we see in our ports and how can we reduce the risk for those. And additionally, an emphasis on patient education, which is really critical as well, especially for patients who are going to have that port access for an ongoing period of time for infusion.
Wow. Well, I'm really excited about this Thursday, and I know if you guys are out there and you haven't registered, we've already got a ton of interest in this event from people who have seen some of our advertisements. So if you're out there and you haven't registered, again, this is Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 11 if you're one of our friends on the West Coast. I put the link down in the description for this video here. It's free to register, and you can get 1C of continuing education. We are very thankful for the AVA Foundation for sponsoring this event, thanks to an unrestricted grant from BD. So appreciate all of our partners and how they're helping us get educational grants to put on exciting educational content just like this. So Lisa, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me about this presentation that you're going to be giving, and for telling us a little bit about yourself with our audience. And I'll take us out from there.
Sounds good. Thanks, Blake.
All right, guys. Well, you can follow the Association for Vascular Access anywhere out there on social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And of course, if you're a big fan of YouTube like I am, you can check us out there as well. And with that, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.